Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video we are going to be making over our main floor living room. This room is sort of split in half with the way the staircase is positioned in this room. And so we have our big formal dining room table and chairs in one half of this room, and then we have like a sitting area in the other half because our dining room in this house isn't very big, so we just have our little round table there. Since we host a lot of holiday parties and birthday parties, we need the big table. So this room is basically a big white box. The walls are white, the trim is white, the carpeting is like a cream colored Berber, and there's just no color in this room at all. And so if you've seen any of my videos, you know that I love color, and so I'm really going to be doing some fun things in this room and adding some beautiful color and texture to it. If you've seen my last video, you will know that our original goal for this room was to take the vinyl plank flooring off of the staircase and refinish the original wood. And once we popped a little bit of it off, we realized, to make a very long story short, that the wood is just it isn't in good shape, and there's no way that we can refinish it and make it look nice. So at this time, we're just going to put the vinyl plank flooring back. We're going to leave it on the stairs until we figure out what we might want to do in the future. Our other goal in this room was we wanted to replace the Berber carpeting. We wanted to take it out. We knew that there was plywood on top of the original flooring in this room. We knew it when we bought the house, and our goal was to take the carpeting out and take the plywood out and refinish the Douglas fir flooring. However, we also discovered when we were working on the stairs, because we can tell down in the basement by looking up in the ceiling, that they also put a lot of screws and nails, and I mean a lot, when they screwed the plywood down, and all of that would have went through the original flooring. So I'm not sure that the flooring in this room is going to be able to be refinished either, and it might be one of those things where we'll have to just put new flooring down at some point. But right now that is not in the budget to do, and Rick's working on some other projects, but that doesn't mean that I cannot make this room beautiful, and I have a lot of great ideas. So without further ado, let's get started. Sometimes I think it's more time consuming to prepare to paint than it is to do the actual painting itself. In this room I have a lot of holes to fill with spackling. There's a lot of repair work that needs to be done on these walls as well, and caulking, a tremendous amount of caulking. But first I'm going to start with taking down all of the old outdated curtain rods. I'm putting window film on all of the lower half of the windows in our house because Emmy, our sweet little pug, she can see out these windows, and when she sees cars go by, she jumps up and she cries and she howls and she barks and she paws at the glass. And we live on a road that's like a four-way street, and even though we're in a small little town, we surprisingly get a lot of traffic. in this room and 3 doorways. I'm going to leave all of the trim around the doorways and the windows white. However, I'm going to paint the baseboards green. And the reason for that is we have baseboard heat, and typically you only have those registers underneath where windows are, but for whatever reason in this house, they decided to run them the full length. So almost the entire room has the baseboard heating, hot water heat, and I only have a very little bit of the original baseboards left. This little tiny wall right here and right behind the couch, and that's it. If you hear a humming noise in the background, there's tree trimmers out there, and they're going to be working all day, so there's no way that I could film without that noise. I am painting these these heat vents that we have in the house, and it's hot water heat, and I'm painting them the same color as the walls because honestly I just want them to blend in. I don't think that they look very attractive. Please excuse the sound of my bread machine. If you can hear it, it's going on in the background. The color that I am painting this room is called Koi Pond, and it is by Sherwin-Williams. And it is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful shade of green. I would say that this is the least fun part of painting this whole room, and is painting inside this register vent. I did the whole top and the curve and the piece that goes inside and this bottom piece here with the lip, and I was hoping that would be enough, but it's not. I mean, from a distance you can still see the white up here and down here. So unfortunately I'm going to have to go through there and I'm going to have to paint this. And because these register vents go all the way around 3 sides of this room, it's going to be a little bit of a job. So I better get going. I know that there's ways of taking off this cover to make it easier to paint in here. However, this is on here pretty dicey as it is, and I'm afraid if I pop it off, I'm going to have a really hard time getting it back on. If you don't want to spend the money to buy the switch plate covers that are paintable, you can paint the very inexpensive white ones. And this is what I'm doing. I just take some really fine grit sandpaper and just really lightly sand these, and it takes the paint, and the paint stays on really, really well. The previous owners had put a patch here on the wall, and they put some, I don't even know what it is, it almost felt like foam or something. They put over top of it, I think to try to mimic the texture in the walls, but yeah, it doesn't look, it wasn't that noticeable when the walls were white, but now that I've painted it green, it looks really bad. This is a fairly big patch. In our bedroom, we have like a little intercom box, and I think that the main unit was probably installed in this place in the living room at some point, and I would think that all of the other bedrooms upstairs probably had one. However, the main bedroom is the only one that still has that little box. So I painted over these spots after I scraped it off, but it still looks bad. So now I'm going to put some spackling on them, and hopefully this will look better when I'm able to sand off this spackling. And here's the patch after I sanded the spackling and repainted it, and it looks a whole lot better now. It always seems that when I'm doing a painting job, you always run into some unforeseen events, and that's what's happened in this room. I had all of the walls painted in the whole dining area and in the whole living area, and I was all ready to start painting the windows, and there were a few dark spots on the ceiling, and they weren't that noticeable, but I mean, I could tell that they were there. So I thought, I'm just going to take a little bit of ceiling paint and I'm going to touch up these little dots. Well, guess what? The ceiling paint was way lighter than the rest of the ceiling was. I've already went ahead and cut in, but this ceiling is very highly textured. I don't know how well you can see it in the video, but it's really textured and it is super hard to paint. So, oh my gosh, wish me luck. What's nice is this paint goes on pink so that you can see exactly where you've rolled. And that really helps. And 2 coats of paint later, the ceiling looks beautiful. Rick and I put up these beautiful gold curtain rods, but I dropped them down below the trim on top because it's such a beautiful feature in this older home. I didn't want to cover it up. Now I purchased these beautiful curtains on Wayfair, and these are called Peony, and they look so nice with the color of the walls and the color of my furniture. Also, they're lined, and so they are like a blackout curtain, but unfortunately they are way too long, so I'm going to have to cut them off and hem them before I can hang them up. to Joann Fabrics and I purchased this beautiful suede upholstery fabric because I knew that I wanted to redo these chair cushions. And I've been holding on to this material for an entire year, and I'm so glad that I purchased this just before Joann's went out. I decided it would be a good idea to iron out the wrinkles before I upholstered this, but I'm ironing on the back side of the suede so that I don't hurt the front side. Rick and I purchased this staple gun probably close to 20 years ago now when he wanted to replace the leather on his motorcycle seat, and we needed something really durable that would go through really hard wood. And boy, oh boy, this thing has been an absolute lifesaver. I've used this in so many upholstery projects, and the wood on the back of these chairs is really hard because it's really old wood, because this is an antique set, and these staples just pop right through, and it just connects to any air compressor. And Rick bought this cute little mini air compressor for me several years ago now for Christmas. And this thing is amazing because it's portable, it's lightweight, it's easy to move around, and we can plug all of our various nail guns to it. If you are reupholstering more than one chair at a time, I highly recommend that you mark them with numbers. In this case, I marked this chair with the number 3 and the top of the chair with the number 3 as well, because I was doing 6 at a time, and the screw holes are in different places for each chair and each top, and I wanted to make sure that it all fit right when I put it back together. Easter is in 2 days, and we are hosting a big family gathering, so I was working really hard to get this dining area / living room area done, and the dining room chairs turned out beautifully. Today is Easter, and happy belated Easter, because it'll be after Easter when you see this video. I wanted to just show you a very quick look at our beautiful table and our newly renovated dining area. I have this really nice print of Claude Monet, the poppy fields, and I purchased this at a garage sale probably 20 years ago, and I've had it hanging in every home that we've lived in since then. I really like it, and I'm still going to use it, but because of the room being redone, I kind of want to do this in gold. Now, I don't have any expensive gold paint. What I'm using is craft paint, and so I have a lot of this gold color here, and this is going to take several coats. So I'm going to do my first coat in this gold, and then I have some other gold that's metallic, that's darker, that I'm going to do for my last coat, but I only have like a half a bottle of that left, so I'm going to be doing this in layers. renovation of our dining room slash living room turned out beautifully. I couldn't be more happy with the finished result. I would like to just mention a few special items that I have in the different rooms here. The first thing I did is I tried to pick a rug to anchor the dining room table that somewhat matched my existing rug in the living room area. And that rug I bought probably 8 or 9 years ago when I bought the cream colored furniture. It's probably been closer to 10 years ago now. And I'm really glad that I bought that neutral furniture, the couch and the 2 chairs, because honestly it will go with anything. And at the time I was really worried about the color. I'm like, oh boy, this is going to be hard to keep clean. I had grandchildren that were really little and sticky fingers and all that, but the material, it's always cleaned up really well. And I wanted to pick a rug that had like the same colors, and I was really lucky that I was able to. So even though the rugs are a little bit of a different style, they have the same blues and oranges and creams in it, and so they do sort of work together, and I'm really happy about that. The dining room set we purchased about 10 years ago from a house that we had bought at the time, and the previous owners were moving to Chicago, and I asked them, are you going to take this antique set, the beautiful table and the 6 chairs and the matching buffet? And they said, no, would you like to purchase it? And we said, yes, and so the table has been just a wonderful addition for our family, and we absolutely love this beautiful antique set. I have 2 footstools in this room, and both of them belong to my grandmother, my paternal grandmother. And the first one has wrought iron legs, and the top of it is done with an embroidery. And she had embroidered this, oh gosh, ever since I can remember, since I was a little girl. So it was done a really long time ago, but it still looks beautiful today. And the second one is a little teeny tiny footstool, and I don't know the story of where she got that one, but it also has little like wrought iron legs and a beautiful little tapestry top, and I absolutely love this little tiny footstool. As far as the artwork goes, Raphael's cherub, you may have seen that in a previous video. In our previous home we had it hanging in our guest room, but I think it looks great in the living room. This is a very, very old print, and it belonged to Rick's mom, and we inherited it when she passed, and it's one of my favorite art pieces. I had a really hard time getting a really good video or photo of the artwork behind the dining room table, but it is a Monet, and it's called the Duck Pond. The problem is with all of the windows in this room, it gets such a reflection, I couldn't get a good shot of it. But at night, I mean, it looks so stunning in here. It really is a beautiful piece of artwork. The adorable little print that I have above the drum table, which by the way, the drum table belonged to my mother, and it was in our dining room when I was growing up as a little girl, and I absolutely love this piece, and it looks great in here. The little artwork above that, I just purchased on Amazon, and it's a really cute little print, and it looks so great with the rest of my French Impressionism artwork I have in this room. On the back of our sofa is a beautiful quilt, and Rick's mom, Alice, made this for us, and it is absolutely beautiful, and it has gold thread, and this was a quilt that she actually entered in competitions and shows, and it's a beautiful one-of-a-kind piece, and I love it in our living room. Oh, Emmy, she hears something outside. I think my favorite thing about this whole renovation of these 2 rooms are the drapes. I absolutely love them. I think that they really add so much character and style and warmth to this room. I absolutely love the tie backs. I think that they really make the curtains. And this video completes the renovation of our entire first floor of our home. We've done every room, and Rick and I would like to thank you all so much for watching today's video. We love you guys, and we appreciate you, and we will see you all soon. Goodbye.